So there's been more of an increase when it comes to the search engine market share for LLM platforms such as ChatGPT or even Perplexity. And I guarantee even some of you watching this video probably implemented a strategy to improve visibility within these. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how you can track how much referral traffic are you getting from these LLM search models, and also how to create a Looker Studio report to keep track on reporting. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to the exploration tab where you can create more of a customized report into any report that you want to do. So let's create a blank one, right? So you have different ways you can segment your report. So in this report, let's just call it AI traffic. So you have different segments, different dimensions, and different metrics. So let's start off first with the type of metrics you want to be pretty much measuring. So the things I want to measure is, let's do sessions. We have sessions, engaged sessions. Let's also do key events to measure what events you set up within your Google Analytics to see if there's any conversions based on this, depending on what key events you have set up. Then let's look at average session duration. Confirm. So we have 4 different metrics we're going to be looking at based on people coming from different LLM platforms based on the query that they found us on. So we're going to see the overall sessions, meaning how many people engaged or just landed on your website, first of all, and lasted about, I think it's 15 seconds on page. Second, we have engaged sessions, which basically measures if any other event has been triggered based in the session, or like if anyone took action. So this can be like clicking from an internal link from one page to another, which can engage that. Maybe clicking any conversions or anything else, but pretty much staying engaged, or like clicking on watching the video. This can give you more insights into how many people actually engaged based on the session. So then we also have key events. This is all solely dependent if you set up key events in general, but pretty much you can set up an event based on what you're trying to measure, based on where you consider conversion. So this can be like phone calls, form submissions, or any specific click to a certain button. All depends on what you set for your key events. And then average session duration, meaning what is the average somebody was on a specific page, or just overall based on like the LLM that they found you on. All right, so now we have our metrics down. We want to create basically a new segment to basically categorize and filter the type of users that we want. So we have, people from, like, if you specifically want people tracking from mobile traffic, even just organic traffic, paid traffic. But what we want to pretty much analyze here is AI traffic. So we can create a new segmentation. So we can do user segment. And then this is when we create a new condition. So what we want to do is we want to set it for session source. Then we have add filter. Let's do matches regex. Then we want to paste in this specific code, which I'll leave in the description. Basically, this is a code that pretty much filters and mentions all the up-to-date LLM search models. We have like Perplexity, Google, Gemini, Bard, things like Nimble, ChatGPT, etc., Copilot, all the above. So we can add that in here. Then we can do apply. So let's also edit this so we know exactly what kind of segment this is. Let's rename it AI traffic, apply. Now what you can do is pretty much drag in these specific metrics. But before we do that, we want to add session source within the dimensions. Session source medium firm. So we have a segment to pretty much differentiate the types of LLM models through our filter. Then we have the session source medium. So this way we can also pretty much identify and split what type of LLM models are referring to us in more of like an organized way. So we can do that within like columns. Let's add this into columns. Then we have the values. So we have sessions, engaged sessions, key events, average session duration. So let's also organize this form so we can do 2 rows actually instead. I don't know why I added to there. Okay, perfect. So yeah, instead of columns, add it to rows. It's organized much more better. But pretty much this is exactly what you need so you can really understand what traffic are you getting from. This is a little bit more of a client that we haven't been focusing much when it comes to the traffic, but pretty much you can see, like, based on our efforts, what type of traffic are we getting based on the last 28 days versus the last 28 days. And then you can also pretty much just categorize this into anything else, like any other time frame that you have. So you have like last 90 days, and you can also compare versus preceding period. So in the last 39 days, you can see exactly what type of traffic you're getting from. So In this case, we can see here like ChatGPT, the challenge with this currently with Google Analytics is Google doesn't really understand exactly where to set like these referred traffic within. So some of the traffic you can see here, ChatGPT is being tracked as like referral. Then you also have not set. Then you also have traffic from like direct. So like direct traffic from ChatGPT, and Google has a hard time tracking exactly where to categorize this. So within this report, you're pretty much going to be seeing more of like a high level overview of exactly like overall ChatGPT traffic. So even like if it's set to like not set, referral, Perplexity, referral, Claude AI, Copilot, even Google Gemini, and other different type of LLMs. So you can pretty much just create more in-depth insights into how much traffic you're getting from like AI, and also categorizing them to add to your reports. So what Google recently did is they pretty much consolidated a lot of the data coming from AI overviews and the new AI mode specifically within Google Search Console. Before, they had like issues when it came to tracking with this, and they didn't really have this option to do this, but it is kind of hard to really just solely focus on AI overviews or AI mode clicks and impressions through Google Search Console. There's not really much like of a filter to really add through here. So I'm just gonna quickly go over a filter you can add to pretty much solely only focus on clicks and impressions from AI mode or AI overviews. So what you want to go to add filter, click on query. Then you're gonna pretty much paste this specific keyword code. So we have this number here, and this number pretty much indicates the minimum amount of pretty much words included within your pretty much query search. So for example, I put 3 here, so pretty much set the minimum amount of 3 words included, and then obviously the higher it goes, the higher it is, but this is just a set minimum I have it set to, since typically when people are searching for like AI mode or AI overviews, like there's like a lot of long tail queries you could show up for that even like comes into like more of like a paragraph form, because again, like it's not like traditional search where people are searching for a set of like keywords. It's more maybe like conversational based, where somebody would have like a paragraph long question, and then you might be sorted within this. But again, I just have this set to 3. Feel free to go in the description below as well too, and I'll just include this code here, and you can just pretty much tweak it whatever type of minimum words that you want to pretty much track for. So in this case, I'm gonna do 3. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add custom regex and then matches regex. So we have this specific code here. Once we click apply, you're going to get so much information into pretty much where you've been cited within AI overviews and even the AI mode. And you can see here like the type of queries we've been searching up for. So like average monthly electric bill, solar installers near me, PA solar incentives, 2025, etc. I actually did a case study video on how to show up for AI overviews, and pretty much this is the exact same query we ranked with for, and I also created a video on that, and it's good to see like to get further insights within the last 3 months on overall clicks and impressions. All right, so basically if you don't want to use the exploration reporting data, you want it more of like a live feed that looks pretty good to showcase to maybe the team or even the higher ups, I suggest creating Looker Studio, which pretty much would just auto-populate the data automatically. You can make it look pretty. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to showcase to you how to pretty much integrate the data based on this. So the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to click on, let me close this out. You want to click on add data. And the 2 things you want to have connected is the Google Analytics and the Google Search Console. So I integrated the data for ethical. So I'm going to add a chart. So you can add a chart based on whatever you want to showcase. So let's do sessions here. Metric, let's do sessions, since it's like the main 4 we talked about before. So we can do one for like sessions, engage sessions, average time, and even like key events as well too. So we can set this up. So what you want to do is after you add the scorecard, you want to add a filter within here. So we can create a new filter. Let's name it AI traffic. So we can include session source. Once we add that, we add regex match. Then the same code I gave you earlier before for the Explorer, you just want to implement the same code into here. So it just breaks down all of the LLMs to pretty much refer to. And then if you probably see an LLM platform that's not being mentioned, you can just add it to the report as well too. So this way we get a number from sessions, You can pretty much just like duplicate this and add it to like engage sessions. So in this case, we can do like add chart, add another one here. So we can do like, boom, set of views. Oh, we can do engage sessions. Once we add that here, we can click on add filter. We already have this filter set here to pretty much just filter out exactly the traffic coming from different LLM platforms. So we have that here, and pretty much you can just play around with it. Maybe find like a template to make it look pretty and get a little bit further insights based on that. So you can also like play around with this. So you can even like add a chart. So what we can do is we can add maybe a donut chart right here. So then we have this here. Let's change the dimension to session source. We can add a filter, add the filter as AI traffic, and then there you have it. You have more of like a percentage chart to pretty much showcase exactly what's the most amount, like what LLM platform is giving the most amount of traffic, and pretty much breaking it down into a nice pie chart like this as well. Another thing you can do as well is pretty much, let's create a drop down list. So we can do is, let's add a chart. So we can do, all right, so we could also break down exactly what type of pages are being visited and give like further insights within that. So what we can do is we can click on insert, create a table. Let's create a table right here. Let's just delete these right here so we can just get this out the way and have more space. So we have, boom. So we can do, what we can do is let's add the metric as sessions. How many sessions are you getting? Boom. We have the session source, which is great. We can add a filter, add where, you know, pretty much the session source. But actually, let's break this down into landing page plus query string. So this pretty much gives you insights into what landing page has been, you know, getting a certain amount of traffic based on like LLM searches, and you can break it down into sessions. And then again, you can add more metrics. You can add things like key events, engage sessions to give you more insights specifically into overall how much engaged sessions you're getting, how much sessions you're getting, and pretty much what landing page resulted into like a conversions based on what key events you set up. So this can give you a much more insights. Hopefully this video provided valuable insights into how to create customized reports to really see how your website is performing within different LLM platforms. There's also videos in the description below to pretty much improve visibility and how to improve visibility within generative engines. And there's also a link to my website where you can get a free video SEO audit, pretty much getting tailored in-depth report specifically for your brand and how to improve for not only like the LLM generative engines, but also how to improve your overall SEO visibility. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.